Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, is here too. Does it sound weird today? No, it sounds normal.
I think we sound great, Mike.
Maybe I'm congested. I feel like it sounds a little different. Whatever. Anyway, how are you, my friend?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You sure you're well?
Yeah.
Looks like you're having some computer issues.
Oh.
I believe a headache was tossed around. I
Google
thought I heard.
Chrome is acting up for me, Mike.
Yeah, you're having some issues with it.
Frustrating.
That's not good. Well, Google Chrome was acting up. The Tigers were acting up. Wow.
Is the season over?
Is it possible? Really? Is it possible the Tiger season is done before we get to June?
So dumb to say when there's 162 games in a season, but
dude, you lose 8 out of 9.
Doesn't feel good.
And they had a chance last night too. That's the scary thing. They had
Even
a chance.
though they were owned by one Maximus Scherzer.
Yeah, your nemesis, your former nemesis, the whole burrito incident.
First he steals my burrito and then this.
Yeah.
20 strikeouts.
Dude.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but there are 27 outs in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 20 of those were strikeouts.
Yes. And it was still a close game. Zimmerman pitched well for the Tigers.
Is my math correct in saying that's more than 2 strikeouts per inning?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a grim game.
18 of them would be 2 an inning in a 9-inning game. I know. Dude, it's crazy.
He needed 2 in the 9th, and he got them, right? To hit 20.
To tie the record.
God damn it.
For the record for a 9-inning game back in the day, back in the 60s, 50s, and beyond, even the 70s, pitchers could go, a game goes into extra innings. It's like, yeah, just go, dude. You just keep pitching.
Yeah.
And so some guy could pitch.
It's your day to pitch.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Now there's all these 6th inning specialists and 7th, 8th, 9th.
So Tom Chaney holds the major league record with 21 strikeouts in a game. Of course, he pitched all 16 innings.
Well, to get those 21.
Yeah, for the Washington Senators against Baltimore in 1962. But yeah, Scherzer, wow, that was his first time pitching against the Tigers.
Right.
It's crazy. I didn't realize that. I figured he would have pitched against them, but
he's done quite well since leaving our organization. He had a no-hitter last year, right?
2 of them.
Did he have 2?
He had 2 no-hitters.
One very early in the season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the knock on him, wasn't it? That he could give you 7, possibly into the 8th.
Very rarely went a full game, right?
Yeah. Oh, like never went a full game with the Tigers. But yeah, he did last night. He had a chance to break the mark against James McCann last night, who, God, he took some beating yesterday. Looked like a Vila behind home plate.
Oh, right. Just getting whacked in the
couple
head.
Foul tips. Those ones, when you see a catcher squatted down and just take a direct boom off the forehead with a foul tip ball, and they're just like, ooh.
Yeah.
They kind of rock back. Those guys it's a different breed, man, going behind home plate. He took a couple off the face and 1 off the arm. I mean, he was beat up. But
people talk about goaltenders in hockey, and I know they get a lot of crazy stuff too. But and there's always holes in the pads. But catchers, there is a lot of holes in the pad. There's not. You got the chest, kind of the knees, and the face. But the reality is, chuck a 90-mile fastball at your face. I got this mask on, but
yeah,
it's crazy, dude. What they go through.
So who are the other 20 strikeout people? Kerry Wood, Clemens did it a couple times.
Kerry Wood is the one I really remember. That one with the Cubs was unbelievable.
He was super young too at the time, if I remember.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a man.
Yeah, and then Clemens had 2 of them. Then Randall Johnson, right?
Yes, one Randall Johnson. The only other big leaguers, as you said, Clemens twice, Kerry Wood, and Randy Johnson.
No Nolan Ryan, huh? He just had the no hitters, I guess.
Yeah, never got the 20 strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's how rare it is.
Yeah,
only 5 times in Major League history. God.
Yeah.
You know what kills me though is these quotes like Scherzer, like it was personal and all this shit. Like he was really dialed in because he wanted to show the Tigers. Like, what do you want to show the Tigers? Like, is it unreasonable for them to have passed on his $210 million contract?
And he still offered him like 180, right? Or something.
It's not like they cut him and dirt faced him. You know, it's like, okay, we offered you 180. You're not interested. All right. Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to show them.
Yeah, as if there were doubts about where his career was. I mean, he was regarded as the best pitcher in baseball, probably.
But when you're paying Verlander and Cabrera what you were, like, sorry, dude, we can't pay you $210.
Yeah. Yep. I thought that was weird in his post game where he's like, it was an added feather in the cap to do it against the Tigers. It's like, okay, whatever
drives you, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, he said that? I just assumed that was speculation.
No.
He said it was like an added
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
Screw
this
him.
Big sign of disrespect.
Dude, I'm glad we didn't resign. I mean, granted, you look at him now, he's good, and Verlander sucks. Maybe not sucks, but he's not what he's never been good since the contract. But they can afford that money. And with pitchers, the reality is you never know if he could have fallen off the next year.
It would have been nuts to pay him that.
Right.
Granted, he's doing great. It'd be awesome.
It still
would have
been stupid.
But it would have been nuts.
Yeah. Anyway. So the Tigers, 8 of 9 they've lost.
Damn it, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the Lions season started out with such a bummer.
Yeah.
Kind of like dead on arrival, and this one is too.
This is, I think,
Red Wings season was kind of the same. I mean, you knew they weren't going anywhere.
You can stomach it when your team is doing well, and then due to injury or something, 3/4 of the way through the season, they fall apart. You lose a key member at a key stretch in the season, and
you're a young team and they're growing, and you're like, well, sort of growing pains, or a couple players off.
But these starts like this, where you're like, dude, it's early in the season, players are healthy. You've paid
pitching mechanics just aren't there.
Yeah, they're just not there yet. But there was nothing that most major league teams could have done against Scherzer last night. I mean, he had the fastball working.
Slider.
That slider was just absolutely dropping off. I mean, it was like it's coming right down the middle, and then bye-bye, it's gone.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, congratulations to him. He's kind of a prick. He was kind of a prick when he was here, so whatever.
Dude, I think in like Detroit sports, I remember like maybe 5 or 6 years ago when I was growing up, I remember thinking how lucky we were. It just seemed like every year, at least one of these teams had like a chance for a lot. I think we're like in the worst period of Detroit sports right now that I've had in my lifetime anyway. No team right now.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like the Pistons are
the college scene is pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Pistons are on the rise, but even them, like, are you really? Could I say confidently? I think they could win a title in the next few years. Not really. And the other teams, not at all. Like, it sucks.
Well, we have at least we have Comic-Con to look forward to this weekend. I'm kind of getting fired up for Comic-Con. We got to get you out of work.
I know. I agree.
That's the end all. We've got to get you out of work.
I agree.
I've been curious about this Comic-Con scene for years now.
Yeah. You want to pull up the guest list? It's going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Novi. Is it the Novi Showplace? Does that sound right?
Sure. What it's called now.
I'm sure it's brought to you by somebody, but I don't know. Who cares? I guess. But
some of the people there. Is that the start of the guest list?
Yes.
And the thing is, Jay, you don't watch a lot of TV, so I wonder how many of these people will impress you.
Yeah, I don't know any of them yet, but
do you want to tell me? I guess
so. William B. Davis.
There's two people
jump out at you,
right?
But the Smoking Man from the X-Files supposed to be there.
That's one of the. There's two people here I really want to see, and he's one of them.
John Barenthal, huge name. He people will know him as Shane from The Walking Dead. He's also on Punisher on the Netflix series. Or Daredevil. Hold on, E.
Oh, sorry.
He was in Wolf of Wall Street, Fury, great actor. Seth Gilliam, who I can't stand. He was on The Wire. He plays Father Gabriel in The Walking Dead. There's a lot of Walking Dead people. Michael Cudlitz from The Walking Dead. He's Abraham. Those are Alexandra Breckenridge, who was in she plays Jesse on The Walking Dead.
So what do these guys like sit there and do autographs and pictures and shit?
I guess. I don't know. I've never been. I'm not sure. Keep going to E. What do we got? Sonequa Martin Green who plays Tamara. on The Walking Dead. Josh McDermott from The Walking Dead. So if you're a Walking Dead fan, Lena Headey.
Whoa. Christy McNichol.
Here we go.
McNichol is known for such roles as Buddy Lawrence on the TV series Family, Angel in the film Little Darlings, and Barbara Weston on the sitcom Empty Nest.
What about her other big role?
Yeah, I think we identified Miguel, a young picture of Miguel, maybe when he was like 8 or 9, is looking starkly like Christy McNichol.
If I blocked that out, have I blocked that out? Why don't I remember that you declared me
this
looking
was
like Christy
hundreds of episodes ago. I don't remember how it came up or what it was, but you definitely looked like Christy McNichol.
Go up again. That chick up there, dude, is big too. Lena Headey. She plays Cersei Lannister, Queen Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. Another big one. She was the one that was shamed, and she had to walk nude through the town. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll check it out now. No, I heard there's a lot of nudity. I should have been watching for that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid.
What is she on there for?
What has she done?
You know, she's done a lot of the, you know what, that Sharknado, right? She's been in that Sharknado lately.
Which was huge. The Big Lebowski. I mean,
that was her
got
best role.
The Big Lebowski.
Come on.
Yeah, American Pie.
Pinky Toe.
Yeah, she had those. She had a string of those in the 90s.
American Pie.
Those, like,
that
huge in those.
Vance Wilder, that was, or Lampoon's. That was a big one too, with Ryan Reynolds. At least I remember.
Oh, Van Wilder.
Michael Naismith.
Look
at
Monkeys. That, you son of a bitch.
I'll
Michael Naismith. There's a monkey gonna be there.
I'll be damned.
Paul Sorvino. Is that Mina's
father of Mina, whatever her name is?
Mina Sorvino. Played Paulie in Goodfellas. Adam West. Love
Ian
Adam
Ziering.
West. Hell yes, Ian Ziering of Sharknado fame,
of course.
90210.
Steve on 90210.
Adam West and Burt Ward in the same room. What?
They hate each other or something? Or?
Yeah, does that happen often?
There's been some bad blood.
Is that right?
They only worked together for 2 years.
I know, 66 to 68.
Brett Ward's looking pretty good, by the way, in the face.
That's one of those things, man. That and Gilligan's Island were very, very short as compared to how popular they are, kind of part of pop culture. You'd think they went on for 10 years or something, just a couple years.
Yep.
Couple damn good years.
Adam West is great on Family Guy too. He plays the mayor on Family Guy as a
great voice.
It's a great voice. Yeah, it's a great run. So yeah,
he just has an intensity. Adam West intensity.
So anyway, that'll be fun this weekend if people are interested. I know that's huge. I'm the people watching too. I'm excited for.
The thing is, on Saturday too, there's supposed to be a cosplay. A cosplay like tournament or competition or something.
A what?
Cosplay. Like, I think it stands for costume play, I'm guessing, but it's like when the problem with cosplay is, from what I've determined, there's plenty of cosplay.
Familiar with cosplay, Mike?
There's plenty of cosplay.
Basically, the chicks all dress up slutty. Like Wonder Woman and shit. Or,
okay.
You know.
All right.
Game of Thrones chicks or whatever. I don't know.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, but the thing about cosplay to me is a lot of times is like, from what I've seen,
they're stretching it.
Well, no, it's almost like there's no middle ground. They're either these super sexy girls that are dressing slutty to dress slutty, or they're kind of hideous. But like chicks like this, I guess. Like, that's a good one. That's like, I suppose, a better one. But this is kind of, I mean,
God, these costumes are unbelievable.
Yeah, remember we talked about that chick who made the God, what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy, that raccoon.
Oh yeah.
Made an unbelievable outfit for her son.
That's
apparently they're like big players on the cosplay scene, that family.
They're from here.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, that costume was unreal. That raccoon.
Yeah, that got international press. The kid, she dressed the kid up like the raccoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge. That story was everywhere. Anyway, so looking forward to that over the weekend.
Sorry. No.
What?
I was going to say, I've also noticed that cosplay is making its way into the porn that I've been watching.
Doesn't surprise me.
Porn? Like what's the theme you've been watching?
I haven't been watching it, but I've noticed it's on the screens as I scroll by. It's just chicks like this having sex, but It must be getting pretty big that it's made it onto the UJIS as a regular.
It's its own channel.
Yeah, it's a regular theme on UJIS. So
I just couldn't take that seriously. I'm sorry.
Hey, spring's upon us, and our friends at Zott Ford and Holly want to celebrate the season with a smoking hot deal for all TDC listeners. Right now, and only at Zott Ford, you can lease a brand new 16 Ford Escape for only $188 per month for 24 months with zero cash due at signing. There's no better time than the present to dump your busted out, beat down hoopty and upgrade to a sweet new Ford Escape with our friends at Zott Ford. Surf their stunning deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
Hey, coming up a little bit later today, we're gonna get Ian Halpern on the phone.
Ian,
yeah, we talked to I don't know, last year.
Whitney and Bobby Christina.
Exactly, the death of Bobby Christina and Whitney, and that whole thing. He wrote a book. He's written tons of books, but he's done one on the Kardashian dynasty, which none of us in this room gives a shit about the Kardashians. But so we'll do our best to make it interesting as far as other connections regarding the Kardashian family. But anyway, looking forward to that. Donald Trump making the big news this morning about his taxes.
Yeah, refusing to let his taxes out.
Yeah,
tax returns.
I don't know what that means. I mean, obviously, people are saying that's a big deal. I don't know that people are going to give a shit.
That's his whole thing.
Is he banking on that?
Cares. And his support, like to the extent people support him already, yeah, they don't care. They're going to support him no matter what.
Yeah,
but I think you gotta. Isn't that standard?
Well, it has been. It's not
now?
Law, but there's precedent for sure.
Like 30 years, everybody's just been throwing out their tax returns so you can make sure they're on the up and up and just understand. Says a lot about you, right?
Yeah, I guess. He said he plans to release his taxes when the audit is completed, despite telling the AP the previous day that he would not release his tax documents. In the interview, I told at AP that my taxes are under routine audit and I would release my tax returns when audit is complete, not after the election. Which
he did say that all along, didn't he? Didn't he say,
yes,
I'm being audited, multi-year audit. When that's done, I'll let him go.
Yeah.
His feet are kind of being held to the fire, like he's changing his stance or something. But I could have swore that's what he said in a debate.
Yes, he definitely did. But the thing was, everybody started going, well, then release the ones that aren't under audit. You can release those. And I think he was trying to, originally when he said that, it's under audit, so I can't release them. And that's when they were just saying, no, that's not the way it is. You have the right to release anything you want from your.
Well, that's my thing too. I mean, this might be really ignorant, but why does that automatically take them off the table? The fact that they're under audit.
It doesn't, but his lawyers are telling him, if you believe him, he's got a team of lawyers that are going, no, dude, you don't publicly set this shit out there while it's under audit.
Well, it means it might be changed ultimately, or, they might be ultimately refiled as different or something, or a mistake might be found.
Yeah.
But it doesn't automatically legally take them off the table for disclosure.
Yeah. Well, Mitt Romney's been pushing this hard. He's been all over him about this. Now, you got to remember, Trump was all over Mitt Romney about releasing his taxes years ago.
Yeah, nothing big came out of Mitt's other than the fact that it showed that he paid at a lower tax rate than one would imagine a 100 millionaire would. Or is he even a billionaire? I don't know. Whatever.
His wife was worth a shitload of money. Is she? What was her fortune in?
I don't know.
That wasn't the catch-up one, was it?
No. That was John Kerry.
John Kerry.
Teresa Heinz Kerry.
Yeah. You're right.
Don't call her Teresa.
You're right. I
don't know that Romney's wife came from money.
Okay, what did Mitt do? Why am I gapping?
Mitt was like a venture capitalist.
Okay. One of those dudes. Romney reiterated the call to release the documents in a Facebook post yesterday. It is disqualifying for a modern-day presidential nominee to refuse to release tax returns to the voters, especially one who has not been subject to public scrutiny in either military or public service. Tax returns provide the public with its sole confirmation of the veracity of a candidate's representations regarding charities, priorities, wealth, tax conformance, and conflicts of interest. There's only one logical explanation for Mr. Trump's refusal to release his returns. There is a bombshell, and he loves that word, bombshell.
I sort of agree. I mean, why not just do it?
Given Trump's equanimity,
sure.
All right, with other flaws in his history, we can only assume it's a bombshell of unusual size.
I don't know that you have to assume it's a bombshell, quote unquote, whatever that means, but you have to assume there's something there that makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah, like what?
Maybe it just shows
He's cheap. He doesn't.
Or
upon
close inspection, you're going to be able to resolve that this guy's not worth as much as he claims. I don't know. That's a big thing to him.
Yeah. Oh,
Huge.
And it's a big part of his campaign too. This, I have all this money. I'm so very, very rich. And I don't know. I don't know that it matters to a lot of voters. Maybe it does, but
it matters more that he won't give them than if he just gave them, I think.
Yeah. Well,
unless there's a bombshell.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. Yeah. We'll know soon enough, I suppose. But it's funny. I don't think Romney put his taxes out.
He dragged his feet, definitely.
I want to say it wasn't until October. I could be wrong. It was either June or October. So the idea that here in mid-May, Trump needs to do something seems a little hypocritical.
I don't have a specific memory as to his timing, but I do remember him dragging his feet. So you're right. There's an element of hypocrisy there.
Yeah. And clearly he just doesn't like the guy,
But Romney's thing, like if it's a Romney issue where Romney was shown to pay at a lower tax rate legally, I mean, he was doing as the best accountants on the planet, I'm sure, who finagle these things under the law and get them the best price they can. That's their job.
Of course.
Presumably Trump is doing the same thing. And if that's Trump's only gig, then why wouldn't he just say, hey, I'm gaming the system like I've told you I do?
Yeah.
He's been real clear about gaming the system in politics. Hey, I grease palms and that's how the system works. So why wouldn't he be comfortable if that's the only issue, that his tax rate is lower than one would suspect? It's got to be something there, Mike.
Yeah. And that's kind of the crux of him, is this honest thing. Whether or not that's true is up for debate. There's plenty of people who think Donald Trump is absolutely 100% full of shit on everything, and it's a con job that he's got this percentage of the country absolutely snowed into believing he's this honest dude. And so I guess if there's something in the taxes that goes against that, I don't know what that would be, but I guess we'll know. Clinton isn't helping herself either with the
email issue.
Yeah, the email issue. We haven't talked much about the email issue. Anything regarding emails, I just find myself gapping out of. But Hillary Clinton for months has downplayed the FBI investigation into her private email server and practices mirror. It's just a security inquiry. This is, what are we even talking about here?
Seriously, that's been her stance. Oh, it's just it's a typical security review. She gives a little chuckle. It's very ordinary.
It's been open about everything.
Security inquiries.
The FBI director James Comey said he doesn't even know what security inquiry means.
The press hit him the other day, like, so this security inquiry, when will this be completed? What's the nature of this? When will this be completed? He's like, I don't know what that phrase means, security inquiry. We're the FBI. We investigate things.
Yeah.
Just kind of throws it in Hillary's face. Like, yeah, you know what? This is an FBI investigation, bitch.
Yeah.
This is serious.
We're conducting an investigation. That's what we do. And I'm not familiar with the term security inquiry. That's awesome. I say what I've said now for many, many months. It's a security inquiry, Clinton said. I always took classified material seriously, and I look forward to this being wrapped up.
Yeah,
I bet you do. There appear to be several moving parts in the FBI investigation. This was a story we had the other day about the former staffer, the State Department IT staffer, Brian Pagliano, who installed and maintained the server. He's been granted immunity by the DOJ, the Department of Justice, and is cooperating with the feds in regards to this.
It's hard to say where this is going. You listen to different people on different channels, and there's so much rhetoric being thrown out there. Like, the people who are giddy for her to be indicted are really optimistic. Like, oh, that Pagliano, that was a damning witness. Our sources are saying just absolutely damning.
Yeah.
And then other people are down, no big deal. These things happen. And I tend to think that there's going to be just such political pressure that, given the climate, given where she sits right now as the presumptive Democratic nominee, it's going to be really hard.
Just be brushed off.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, you look at it and you go, God, says the FBI, it's supposed to be separate from that shit. And these are the same investigators who indicted Petraeus.
With much less.
Yeah, with much less, they say. So.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing with this Brian guy is apparently they can find no emails from him. And I don't know what that means exactly. Do they mean just between him and Hillary? Do they mean between?
It's my understanding they can't find any of his emails between certain time frames within the federal government system.
That's interesting. No wonder he wanted immunity.
Because I heard a commentator saying either they've scrubbed this thing so clean that his emails don't exist anymore, or he just wasn't working between these times, because the notion that an IT expert wouldn't be sending emails is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
interesting. I just have no faith that anything's going to come of that. I just don't. You look at some of the Benghazi things and the email stuff. It just seems like, however it happens, it just doesn't. It's not all that seriously taken, and maybe something will come of it. I just don't see it.
Well, hopefully there's enough pressure from the other side that the FBI knows at least it's going to have to answer as to why not, and that there'll be enough information disclosed where, I guess there'll never be enough where the side that wants the indictment is satisfied. Oh, okay, I see why you didn't. But dude, this is going to be dug in for many years.
Yeah.
Either way it goes,
Did you see the other news that broke last night, overnight, really, that about George Zimmerman?
Yeah, he's selling the gun, huh?
Yeah. This is
times tough for old George, are they?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. This is just like poking the bear almost, kind of move. He's auctioning off the gun he used to kill Trayvon Martin.
Tacky, uncouth, perhaps.
It's a little weird, right?
Yeah, it is.
He was acquitted of murder and manslaughter in 2013.
What's the protocol with this? It's kind of uncharted territory.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to
Well, who's buying it though? That's the
Darren Wilson's gun.
Yeah.
The gun is it's a Kel-Tec PF9 9mm. Bids are starting at $5,000. I don't know what that gun would be worth. It can't be worth more than hundreds of dollars.
What kind is it again?
It's a Kel-Tec. What did it say? A Kel-Tec PF9 9mm.
A PU-39 space modulator.
Bids start at $5,000 after the gun was recently returned to Zimmerman in working order by authorities. In his description of the gun, Zimmerman says, "Prospective buyers, I am honored and humbled to announce the sale of an American firearm icon."
It looks like just a few $100.
Piece of history.
Yeah. Exactly. Piece of history. I thought that like the Smithsonian wanted it. Just because of what has transpired with the whole Black Lives Matter and all that bullshit since that they were kind of interested in just having that piece of history. The firearm, so they can buy it for $5,000.
I wonder what he thinks it's going to go for.
Probably a lot.
Does he think it's going to get up to six figures? Or
I think, didn't he do a painting or something that went for $100,000? Remember that?
No shit.
I thought so. I thought he had some dumb shit that he was a part of. Oh, what am I thinking of? There was something that was sold for an outrageous, like him painting the Confederate flag. Remember that story?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Or something.
It does ring a bell.
I thought that went for almost six figures, or it was crazy.
George Zimmerman painting sells for $100,000. $100,099.99, I guess. I don't know why that.
You're right over six figures. Good work, Miguel.
Yeah.
Nice.
How do I remember that and you two don't?
I vaguely remember.
Because I don't pay. Honestly, I never paid attention to stuff like this that much.
Well, that stuck out to me because it's just so outrageous. He's an idiot fucking watchman in a neighborhood who happened to shoot a black kid.
Yeah. And
now he's got a painting worth $100,000. Give me a break.
Who knew? He was an expert artist.
Yeah, right. It's just crazy. The firearm for sale is the firearm used to defend my life and end the brutal attack from Trayvon Martin with the dates.
Oh, yeah, boy.
When challenged on his decision to sell the gun, Zimmerman told a local Fox affiliate there, he was a free American, so I can do what I want with my possessions.
It's true. I guess it is true.
He's had a series of run-ins with the law. I mean, he's just
he's been a piece of shit ever since then.
Yeah. I felt bad for Zimmerman for a long time when that case first started. There's definitely things you can point to in Trayvon Martin's history, whether it's drugs or guns. Like he was a junior thug wannabe. for sure. Now, whether that's like glamorized in the world that he looks up to, and he's just trying to fit in, or if he's really some hardcore punk ass, who knows? But he could have easily killed George Zimmerman.
Just remember the picture with him and the horse, Mike.
Him and
Telling me he's not just a little kid who wanted to ride a horse.
Oh yeah, he's starting college on Monday, right? He did a number on Zimmerman though. He's bashing his fucking head into cement.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. There was a pretty major altercation.
But then the more time has gone on, you look at Zimmerman, it's like,
yeah, he's a piece of shit.
You know, he's had a few run-ins. He was charged aggravated assault and battery and criminal mischief after his then girlfriend said he pointed a gun at her face during an argument. Following his third arrest for domestic violence allegations earlier this year, his lawyer admitted his client has not been very lucky with the ladies.
Yeah.
You know what your lawyer saying something like that?
Your lawyer. It's not like a boy, just like your guy friend. Like, yeah, he's been having a hard time getting the ladies.
With the ladies.
Quote, not been lucky with the ladies.
Yeah. Have you ever said that when referencing a client?
I've not spoken as counsel in that manner.
Last year, he referenced Martin's death when so people are fucking with him online and they'll send himself and slap an idiot Wednesday. He replied, "We all know how it ended for the last moron that hit me. Give it a whirl, cupcake."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Our sale of this gun speaks volumes as to what this guy's about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it does. Hours later, he posted numerous racial slurs in a series of tweets. He posted pictures of Mike Brown and Vester Flanagan. Remember Vester Flanagan?
Vester.
That story kind of disappeared, didn't it?
Who was Vester?
He's the guy that shot the cameraman and the chick on live TV.
Yeah.
The gay guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he was gay and black, right? You think if he was a
Mm-hmm.
white guy shooting a gay black guy.
Went away.
Oh, that story would have been way bigger than it was. So he posted pictures of Michael Brown and Vester Flanagan and said, "If at Barack Obama had two sons." Yeah, you're just kind of being a dick at that point. In the latest headline-grabbing movie, he posted the ad for the gun online, which he billed to potential buyers as the opportunity to own a piece of American history.
Now, you'd think a guy who went through what he did would just be like, wow, I dodged one. Just going to lay low the rest of my life,
Yeah.
Go into the
I know.
shadows and do my thing.
Think,
but instead, it looks like at every turn, he's jumping into the limelight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not good. He says, I think he said he's going to donate a portion of the money
to what?
To anti Black Lives Matter movement.
Nice.
In other words,
this guy's going to get killed.
Right?
Yeah.
He probably is. I mean, he had that run-in with that other guy, too, that was pulling up next to him in the car and aiming the gun. And remember that whole thing?
This guy's just going to turn up in an alley.
Why even say that part about, like, if you're going to say...
I think it's about abuse of law enforcement. Something along those lines. But just to word it, anti-Black Lives Matter movement, it just doesn't sound good. And yeah, you're right, dude. You just got to bury your head and like, okay.
Yeah, I dodged it, Boy, am I lucky.
Yeah.
Given in this climate, I got out of that. Now I'm just going to lay low.
Yeah.
That's how I would be. But
yeah.
Did you see that Michael Slager, the cop, I think he was from Charleston, who shot the guy in the back, was just indicted?
Yeah. On racial.
A year.
Yeah. Yeah. The family's happy about that.
Yeah.
What was his name? Why can't I think of his name? William Scott or
victim? Something? Yeah, maybe Scott. Sounds
something
right.
Scott.
That was a heinous video, though.
Yeah, which is being shown on a loop on your TV. But should get off the murder and all that stuff.
Get on to
more fun,
happier
stuff.
issues,
yes.
like upskirts.
Yeah, like this new Calvin Klein advertisement that I can't keep my eyes off of. I got to be honest with you.
See what we got here.
Well, it's this Danish actress. Her name's Clara Kristen. She's 22 years old.
Nice.
And they've done a upskirt shot that shows her in her little undies, inner thigh, and buttocks with the caption "I flash" in my Calvin Kleins.
Whoa.
Like the Calvin Klein's new message is like "I" and then blank in my Calvin Kleins.
Looking at it right now.
What do you think, E?
I mean,
you a fan of the upskirty?
You should pull it up on the computer.
Okay, I will. I don't know. That's a weird thing. I guess, like, in this context, because it's an ad, I guess I
you
am.
Into the whole voyeur thing?
But I'm not these guys. Yeah, no, I am not. Like, I don't go and look at upskirt porn. Like,
you don't have a shoe camera?
No, I don't have a shoe camera. I don't. and I don't even like looking at it on the porn version because I feel like I know where it came from.
To me, it's not the most flattering look.
No, it's
going
not.
like up skirt like that.
Man,
You could look a lot better, but
yeah.
I mean, I get it.
People are outraged by this though. This picture, and we'll pull it up here if you're watching the YouTube stream. You'll pull it up. The image has been branded creepy, sexist, and fodder for pedophiles, which makes me feel bad because when they say that, it's like,
How old is she?
22.
Fodder for pedophiles.
I know. Well, they're saying
Why?
it makes
Maybe-
Because she
but-
looks young.
because she looks young.
Maybe this makes it. Oh, I was gonna say also maybe if you think about it, if Calvin Klein's now using this, then maybe it makes those perverts think like, oh yeah, this isn't that bad.
Yeah, but why does that lend to pedophilia?
I don't. Here
It
we
was
go.
posted yesterday to Instagram. You want to pull it up there, E? Go ahead.
Yeah, where was it? Shoot there. See if I can open this in another one.
You make it bigger.
Groundbreaking
I don't know how to
ad
do
campaign.
that. I know how to do this.
So she posted the picture. This is really off. What is Calvin Klein advertising in her spotty undies? In her spotty undies, she looks more like a 12-year-old. Good picture for pedophiles.
Yeah, I don't know about that, I guess.
Misogynistic rubbish bordering on pedophilia. Gross. Some disturbed old guy's wet dream.
All the stuff that all these, panties and bra and panty
Yeah, any of these
advertisement.
panties they're all creepy and
Yeah, you're looking for something new. This
Who
is
gets
new
the
and different.
Victoria's Secret, back in the day? Of course, now you don't need it, but like, what was that? Most people that got that and cared about it were, I think, young kids that were probably using it to jerk off, right? Like,
Replace the Sears catalog.
yes.
I'm so sick of advertisers doing this, parading teenage girls as sex symbols and advertising women stuff in overtly sexualized ways.
She's 22.
She's 22. Yeah, exactly. She's not a teen. This message is one of misogyny, disrespect, and patriarchal pseudo-pedophilia. I object to that. It weakens society and panders to mental illness. Panders to mental
Woo!
illness.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
Meant what?
I don't know.
I'm unfollowing Calvin Klein.
Oh, whoa.
Well, that'll get him.
I bet the person that's willing to write that in, were they a big supporter of like unfollowing them where? On Facebook or Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know. Calvin Klein, although having said that, when's the last time you've really thought about Calvin Klein?
I don't know.
Like, isn't this probably, and now we're talking about it. I don't even know the last time I've really thought about Calvin Klein as a
Isn't that
clothing
weird
line.
that that's the guy's name?
Calvin Klein.
Yeah, Calvin Klein. I just think of that brand, Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy's name. He's like signing checks. Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hello, Calvin Klein.
yeah.
Yeah, Calvin.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Calvin Klein. It's just
I would
freaking
even
weird.
that would
Mr.
be-
Klein. Is it weird? Ralph,
think
is it any different than Ralph Lauren?
I just don't think of that as a name. I just think of Calvin Klein.
brand.
Yeah.
It's just branding.
Maybe
Where
that's
did the
stupid
picture
of me.
go? E?
Oh, sorry.
Wasn't done creeping on it.
I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Sorry. Gee.
You should know
God
this. That
damn
was
it,
up for no more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, what's the matter with you? Put a
Okay.
dick picture up later, but for right now,
Yeah, he leaves the eggplant picture up there for
20 hours. Yeah. Look at it. Dude, I'm sorry. That's hot as shit. I know I'm a creep. I feel like a creep and a pedophile, I guess, if people are going to say that.
I don't think it's hot as shit.
Yeah, I
just
don't
think-
either.
It's just a different angle. It's
But you're
a
right.
different, like, I think it's the buttocks. I think it's the butt that
Yeah,
I like.
yeah.
That's kind of hot. Look at that.
Buttock.
Can we
It's
see
not a
see if
fu-
you can Google that model? Let's see what she
Yeah,
looks
it's not
like
the most
normal.
flattering look. Like that chick could probably look 10 times better if it were just
Oh, yeah.
straight on. It's different.
Yeah, in fairness, there is something creepy about the whole upskirt thing. Like that's a big problem for a lot of people.
And that's the problem when I look at it. Like, I feel when Jay asked me, like, are you into it? I'm like, well, I guess this because it's a model's picture. Like, this is in an ad, but like, I'm not into like searching for it on, these porn pictures where you know where it came from. Anything
Yeah, it's like
that's
the guy
out
at
model-
Target. We talked
Right.
about him last week, right? Being
Mhm.
chased out. The
oh, that
shoe
was
can.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, ugh, I don't get it.
Would
I don't- I don't get it.
without a bra?
I know you.
Goes running
The
after him.
minute she says that, he is out of there.
Drops his bag and
Standard
running.
white middle-aged man running out of
Uh,
Target.
his khakis,
That would
the
be
belt,
horrifying,
tucked shirt,
dude.
Polo
tucked in,
shirt.
tucked in, of
what do
course.
you do? Do you go to your car or do you go make a run for the hills like he did? He made a run for the
Yeah,
hills
he's
and then
thinking license plate. He's thinking, I don't want to be seen, right? So I'm running for the hills.
I don't know if
Yeah.
this girl- is this
Guess it's not an awful move. I don't know that you have that many choices.
I think this is
Yeah.
her.
You're that big of a creep.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
I don't think this girl's that good looking. If this is
that her?
I mean, this is her
Danish
maybe
model.
I should go to her Twitter to make.
Oh, come on,
sure.
E. Every model is so hot.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't that drive you crazy? How they're always looking for different looks.
They're definitely not. I don't find models usually hot, frankly, but like quote unquote the supermodel.
Right. There's some that are definitely
Like
weird.
this
looking.
is her. I mean, I didn't go to Google Images because I want to make sure because this is her Instagram. The Google Images sometimes.
Yeah,
but then
she
look
is
at
very.
a picture of Phoebe. I don't know. Wow. Well, this would be her. She's okay, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't turn her down, obviously.
No.
Yeah, she does have that kind of weird look.
Yeah.
Ugh, what's that?
Yeah, what's that going on up there?
A headless pig?
Gross.
Yeah.
She's very normal, which I guess maybe is better.
Yeah, you would not see her on the street and go,
Who's
oh
this
my God.
creep?
Looks like the Man in Black from Lost.
Sort of does.
It doesn't look like a boyfriend or something. Maybe it is, I guess, but he looks like a fucking old creep with her. It's on her Instagram, so whatever.
Yeah, she's okay. You can see why they'd pick her. Like as you said, that going after weird looks all the time. I don't know. Should we get into? Should we call Ian Halpern?
Let's call Ian.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Kardashian dynasty. Not a very likable family.
No, they are not.
But I don't know. I mean, I like talking to Ian. I think he's a funny dude, and he seems to like us. So let's give him a call.
Hello.
Ian.
Yes.
Hey, buddy. It's Mike and Jay from the Detroit Cast. How are you, pal?
How's it going, man?
Hey, Ian.
Very good. It's been a while since we talked to you. I don't know if you remember the last time we talked to you. You had the book about Bobby, Christina, and Whitney.
Yeah, of course.
How did that end up doing, man? That was a good read.
Yeah, it did very well. Very well.
Well, we're here to talk to you about the new book, among other things, The Kardashian Dynasty, The Controversial Rise of America's Royal Family by one Ian Halpern. How's this one doing? It just came out, what, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it's flying off the shelves. I think we're headed to another #1 here. It went #1 in the UK, Australia, various other markets. Of course, the US, it's a more oversaturated market today. When I used to put up books, they used to just skyrocket to #1. And but I think because a lot of the media, I'm doing a lot of press. I'm getting, I've been in getting a lot of good reviews, like in USA Today, LA Weekly, a lot of radio attention, and such as being on your show, which is one of my all-time favorites. But the majors, like Today's Show, Good Morning America, who always have me on, they won't have me on for this because they've been told that the Kardashians won't appear on their show if they have me on.
Really?
And my old buddy, the guy with the 6'8" guy with the wig, who's running, a celebrity pandering show now at Sirius. What was his name? Howard
Stern. Sure.
Yeah, he won't have me on too, because now he's changed his business template. You see him appearing at Jennifer Aniston's wedding and only having the celebrities on, and it's not cutting edge radio anymore. Howard the Coward seems to only be in it for the check today. It's all
a big check
with him. But who cares? I'm glad to be on your show because I love the Motor City. I love the energy that you guys have because you guys aren't afraid to have me on.
Hell no, we're not afraid to have you on. You know who else I noticed had you on, which was interesting, and I watched part of it, was Anthony Cumia. And you went in studio with him. That was this first show back out of rehab.
Yeah, look, I've known Anthony a long time. We were legendary for having our sparring on air together for years on that show. But
funny shit,
off
man.
the air, we'd always shake hands, and I was glad to see Anthony back on. He's a legend, and I was honored to be on his first show back. We had a blast.
Yeah, it was interesting, and he looked good. He sounded good.
Yeah,
it's
he
good to
looks
see
much
him
better than he did when I used to see him at Sirius.
Yeah.
He looked like, he had one foot in the grave at Sirius.
Yeah.
And on his new show, he looks all tanned and healthy. And, it was a great experience. Wow, I'm glad you caught that. That was fun.
Yeah, I did. Now, the Kardashian book, I'll be honest with you, man, this family has bugged the shit out of me for years.
Yeah, me too. They're largely repulsive in my mind, but
yeah. But I don't know why they would hate you from this book. I read the whole book, Ian, and I don't think they come off that bad. You give them a lot of credit for working their asses off to get where they are. You really do.
Look, I went out of my way to be overly fair to them. And, believe me, it could have been much worse. And here they are trashing me. But I'm telling you right now, I hope they sue me because I'm ready for them. And I have about 30,000 questions to ask them in deposition under oath for the sequel. And I'm not afraid of the Kardashians. I've been to this rodeo, as you guys know, many, many times before. And, these people who have zero talent, they're not exactly Sir Laurence Olivier, Katharine Hepburn. They're not even Roseanne Barr. They just skyrocket. They become the McDonald's of television. They're everywhere, syndicated in 154 different countries. Jesus. And here they are picking on me now. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm the wrong guy to pick on because I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to go down easy, and I have the financial means to take them on. Everybody knows that. And if they want a battle, they're going to get a war because anybody, the reason why people don't sue me in this business, because they know I go the distance. The word settle is not in my vocabulary.
And the truth, you can't sue if it's the truth.
That's right. The truth is the defense in libel.
Yeah.
But as you pointed out astutely, what's there to sue over? This book makes them look good.
I thought they came off as hard workers.
And you set the tone there by talking first about Robert, who to me is the most interesting of the Kardashians, given the OJ and Robert friendship that goes way back. But that's where it all started, right? He worked his ass off. But do you ever get sick of the OJ Simpson story at all? Because that, to me, as I'm reading through this, I'm like, that's what compelled me is the Robert Kardashian link to OJ.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, the thing with Robert Kardashian, I mean, first off, a guy, let's face it, he wasn't exactly Mr. GQ. He's banging Priscilla Presley after, he splits with Kris Jenner. I mean, how does he get Priscilla Presley after she splits with Elvis? Now, this guy, he wasn't exactly Johnny Cochran himself. The guy, it's alleged he hid evidence in the trial. I think OJ would have gone down really hard if not for Robert Kardashian's suspicious role in protecting his friends, which I detail it all in the book. But if not for Robert Kardashian, we would have never heard of that name, the Kardashians, most likely in Hollywood. That name became a household legend.
Yeah.
And fast forward to his daughter Kim on Paris Hilton's show, Simple Life, playing Paris's assistant, taking
cleaning
notes.
out her closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. And then, hey, Pam Anderson came out with a sex tape, and Paris did it, and Kim decides, wow, this might be the way to get fame, fortune. But what I detail in the book is the momager, Kris Jenner, she okayed it. She helped broker the deal to Vivid Entertainment.
That's unbelievable.
And I have a bit of a problem with that. The mom helping the daughter sell a sex tape. I thought I'd seen it all with the OJ trial with the Kardashians, with Bob Kardashian maybe concealing evidence, but this took it to a completely different level.
When they argue though, Ian, wouldn't they just say, hey, it's coming out, whether it's leaked or however, we might as well, it's already there. Fuck it. We might as well make $10 million off it.
No, because it's, first off, you need multi-party consent. You just can't put out a sex tape in the United States, especially California. So this was a premeditated thing. Okay. It wasn't, hey, somebody just got hold of a sex tape and let's put it, let's expose Kim and Ray J. No way. And it was produced. It's not like some cheap film here. The quality was great. The lighting was good. This was premeditated, the whole thing. And I detail in the book exclusively how Kris Jenner was instrumental in peddling the tape.
Going back to the OJ part, Ian, there's long been rumors, and I don't know if you can dispel them or what, but that O.J. Simpson is actually Chloe's father. And there are some similarities. I think you mentioned it too, about if you look at old pictures of Sydney, O.J.'s daughter, versus Chloe. What do you think? There's any possibility that there's some truth to that?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the first person who raised that to me was my old pal Opie. At Sirius Radio. He told me he thought that Chloe wasn't the biological daughter of Bob Kardashian. He had doubts, and he had offered her $250,000 to take a test, a DNA test, just to prove that she was, if indeed she believed it. I, on his show, offered to double it to $500K, and she never responded.
Really?
Yeah, just her sheer size.
I don't think she's Bob Kardashian's biological daughter. I really don't.
No more than Jackson's kids are his.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
So, hey, is there an end to this Kardashian notoriety in sight, or are we going to have decades more of this stuff?
It's like asking me if the Big Mac is going away anytime soon. Seriously.
Didn't it though? Aren't they canceling the Big Mac? Seriously,
they're making a bigger Big Mac.
Okay,
that was the last story.
Yeah, it'll just keep twisting and turning, right? The Kardashians.
Yeah, you see, they're fast food. They're not fine cuisine. You go in there, you get your quick fix, you consume it, feels sort of good. You go home, maybe a couple hours later, it doesn't feel so good. But you wake up the next day, and you're eagerly awaiting to consume again.
Yeah.
And they have just cornered that fast food TV market all over the world. People are addicted to it. There's no end in sight. And I'll say it, on your show, the top show in the Motor City, which I've been on before, and I love your show, I'll say to you right now, there are future generations of the Kardashians on the horizon. Kris Jenner's behind it all. I say this, she makes Colonel Tom Parker and Brian Epstein of the Beatles look like amateurs, like neophytes. She's the best impresario I've seen in Hollywood ever.
Yeah.
And she's breeding new generations of Kardashians, so this show could go on for decades.
Well, she got her start sinking her teeth into Bruce Jenner, who really had a dying career at the time she got with him. He was broke, and she kind of just revived a career for him.
Look, Bruce Jenner, let's face it, he was down in the dumps. He was obscure. He was forgotten. And she came around and revived it. And at the end of the day, I don't think it worked out too well for him. And I say in the book, Bruce wouldn't have become Caitlyn so quickly if he wouldn't have killed this poor woman in Malibu about a year and a half ago.
Kim Howe, yeah. But you really think that had something to do with him coming out and turning into a woman, if you will?
1,000%. The media was focused on Bruce Jenner and his role in killing Kim Howe. And they were speculating that homicide charges would be filed.
The ultimate change of subject.
Yeah. They're the masters of misdirection. And along came Caitlyn right away on the scene. Diane Sawyer, that interview was so puffed up. I mean, she had Diane Sawyer in the palm of her hand, Caitlyn.
Yeah.
And then the ESPYs, a Lifetime Achievement Award. And the game over, we forgot about Kim Howe.
Yeah.
Who was busy staring at wood.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a brutal story. I don't know that. Well, I Am Kate was the show, all focused on Bruce and the transition. And thing died a quick death, didn't it? They brought it back for a second season. I don't know if you suffered through watching that show. It was brutal.
Brutal, but the fact is, I'm not throwing pity parties for poor Caitlyn because A, she'll resurface on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They won't let her go. And B, she got an 8-figure book deal at least.
What do you think of the whole Caitlyn Jenner coming out? And it's really taken this country by storm. The whole transgender thing, the bathroom issue.
Well, I think it's safe to say, amongst all the Kardashian women, that Caitlyn's had the least plastic surgery.
Kim's ass.
Kim's ass. You think Kim? I think Kim's ass is gross. By the way, I do not get the Kim Kardashian ass thing. I just don't.
We also have Kylie Jenner, 18 years old, who's had multiple plastic surgeries at 18. It's a terrible example for teenagers. You know, moms have contacted me. They're worried their kids are going to get plastic surgeries to emulate their idol by the time they're 15 or 16. So it's not looking too good.
You allude to Caitlyn having possible buyer's remorse. What are your thoughts on that? Where's that going?
Well, I'm saying this. She's had a lot of difficulty, a lot of problems. I think she'll deconvert in the next 2 to 3 years. She'll spoon-fed us some story. Well, it was hard. She went through hell, and she's going back to be Bruce, but she's happy because she raised awareness about transgender rights.
No way.
You can really see it, man.
Of about $100 million attached to her at the end of the day.
Yeah. You'll
see Bruce Jenner with a nicer set of golf clubs than before.
Wow, no kidding. You really think that's a possibility?
Yes. I don't think Caitlyn's in it for the long haul.
Wow, and why do you think that?
Because my sources are good, and I've heard that, Caitlyn has been very up and down with this and has had second thoughts many times.
So is it safe to say then he does not have a dick removal surgery planned?
That dick is alive, better, stronger than ever. Who knows where that dick is? I think it's still getting a lot of mileage, that dick.
Really?
And I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, there hasn't even been a circumcision, let alone removal. So it's there intact, and I think when she deconverts back into Bruce, it's going to be there.
What's going on? Lastly, on the Kardashian clan here,
sure.
Lamar Odom. There were reports that came out just the other day. I think they got photos too of him out drinking at a mall in Beverly Hills or something. What's going on with him?
Poor Lamar. I mean, he's been a victim here. On the new season, they've released photos with him all tubed up in the hospital. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
They're making money off Lamar. They filmed him in the hospital. He was on his deathbed. He couldn't even pronounce the name Gordie Howe anymore. My legend in Detroit.
Shit, yeah.
He was out of it, and here's the Keeping Up with the Kardashians with the film crew. Sign here, please, if you want you to get paid, And look, I'd be drinking too. It hasn't worked out well for any of those Kardashian men. Again, look at Scott Disick, Bruce Jenner, Lamar Odom.
Rob.
They've all become discombobulated. Yeah, Rob Kardashian.
It's a mess.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a mess.
They became a mess. They became a train wreck, all of these men. And if I was Lamar, I'd have more than one shot of tequila. I'd be there getting sauced, man, getting tanked.
Yeah.
Because those women just throw the Kardashian men under the bus.
How crazy. A guy's a world champion, makes it to the NBA, is a world champion, and he's taken down by the Kardashian clan. That's incredible. Can we go off subject with you, Ian, really quick?
Yeah, just let me get one plug in for the book. It's at Amazon.com. If the book goes #1, I promise your listeners, my next subject is Howard the Coward Stern, the professed king of all media. I have a lot on Howard, a lot.
Really?
My sources at Sirius are strong, and I think it's time for a radio tell-all of the self-proclaimed king of all media. Even if you're not interested in the Kardashians, but you want to see a Howard Stern tell-all, go to Amazon, order 200 copies, do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I promise, within 90, 120 days, from the day it goes #1, the Kardashian book, I'll be out with a Howard tell-all.
Nice.
Deal.
Will you have me on for that?
Oh, shit, yeah. Hell yeah, we will. The other, I figure your next book would be on Prince.
No, I was contacted to do Prince, but frankly, I'm not interested because, I dealt with Whitney, Cobain, Jackson. I did the Kardashians because people have falsely accused me of trying to profit off dead celebrities. Well, I have about 10 of them alive on this book. So that should silence all those critics. And the previous allegation of trying to profit shamelessly, look, most of my subjects are still alive. I did Schwarzenegger. I did
Gaga.
Oh, I've done Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I did Scientology, James Taylor, Celine Dion. I did the head of Cirque du Soleil. So most of them are still alive.
Yeah.
But people say, oh, this guy Halpern, he tries to shamelessly profit off dead celebrities. Well, okay, so I'll leave Prince out of this one. I'm actually not interested in getting on the Prince case at this point because, A, I do believe a will exists, and
Really?
B, I actually loved Prince's music. He was definitely an oddball character. Let's face that. Some guy, we knew nothing about this guy, his private life, and he was always up and down with the music industry. I respect him for taking on the industry, but really, I love the music. I really was saddened by, I was at CNN doing an interview a few weeks ago when the producer came in and said, Prince just died. And I told CNN, you know what, I'm going to stop the interview now. I really don't want to go on. It really gave me a bad taste because I think after covering Michael Jackson and seeing how drugs took him in, and now Prince, it gave me a bad taste about the entertainment business. And really, I have no desire to get in. The Jackson case consumed like 3 years of my life. I still get 2-3 interview requests a week to talk about Michael, which I refuse all of them.
Really?
I wanted to move on. Oh yeah, it just goes on and on and on.
I imagine Prince was so beloved by so many people across the world that you would end up in the same spot. The one I would think you would do, and you wouldn't be accused of glamorizing the death of a celebrity, would be Donald Trump.
Yeah, I was approached to do Trump too, and I know for a fact that 12 reporters are collaborating on a tell-all about Trump as we speak. It should be released in the next few weeks, so I can't compete with that. And a couple of weeks ago on Inside Edition, Trump's daughter-in-law, the woman who's married to Eric, she interviewed me. And I had no idea she was Trump's daughter-in-law. I had no idea she worked at Inside Edition. And during the interview, I said, well, face it, the Kardashians are TV, what Donald Trump is to academia. And I saw her eyebrows raised, and after the interview, which lasted about 45 minutes, an hour, she took me aside and said, oh, let me tell you, I'm Donald Trump's daughter-in-law. So we were laughing, and then I spoke to her for a good half hour off set, and she told me, he's completely different than what we see on TV. He's a great family man. She says the family's amazing. Look, face it, love him or hate him, Donald Trump has made this the most exciting political arena we have seen perhaps ever.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
And it's turned into something like wrestling, Face it. Everybody says, oh, he talks nonsense. He doesn't know. Everybody's waiting to see the shots he's going to take at Hillary. It's going to be
epic.
Prime TV going on for months and months, and people can't get enough of this. So
what kind of stuff
politicians suck. They're all corrupt. So this could be a good diversion, and at least we could get something out of it, entertainment value, instead of being brainwashed by them and getting all these fake campaign promises, and then when they're elected, we're all let down. So this is going to be cutting edge television, and frankly, you know what? I want to see how Hillary responds. I think some of the accusations Donald's going to level against her might be indefensible.
What are the types of things you think these 12 reporters are digging into mainly? Sexual relationships?
The sex life, the sex scandals. They'll have a lot about Melania. I think his previous past with women. I know there's been all kinds of abuse allegations against Trump, and probably impropriety. I want to see, how they attack his finances. I'm sure they'll dig up something there.
Do you think he's got an out of control dick still?
Well, he's 69 years old, and face it, 69 is for most people a good number. For Trump, who knows? Who knows what he's on? I don't think he's thinking with his dick anymore. But I'll tell you this: I think we're going to see some explosive allegations that make the Gary Hart scandal, the John Edwards scandal, pale in insignificance. And I think Trump will emerge victorious. I don't think he's going to resign.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about the whole Trump thing is where most of these trying to be perfect all the time politicians get brought to their knees by the slightest sort of scandal.
Yeah.
Trump
he
seems
won't
to skate.
buckle.
He doesn't give a shit.
It's
And
the hypocrisy.
Thrives on this.
yeah, it's the hypocrisy.
And
yeah.
I don't think anybody doesn't expect that he had a wild past. So
yeah.
Yeah, he thrives on this. He thrives, you know. You mentioned Anthony Cumia again. It was refreshing. I went into his studio, by the way, and to see him just build out this, like on his own, this great TV, radio facility, broadcasting facility. I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd walk in there. There would be one microphone, a laptop, and, you know, we're just broadcasting.
Yeah.
He put a lot of time and money into this. It was a first-rate operation, multiple producers, researchers, a live audience in there.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we don't need the corporate media anymore. We could just do this on our own.
Yeah. Well, next time you're in Detroit, you'll have to come by and see our studio, man. We've kind of done something similar on a smaller scale, but certainly more than a microphone and a laptop. That's for sure.
This is fantastic. We don't have to be at the mercy of all these mooches who are dictating the content, dictating the direction.
Yep.
Wow. This is putting a dent into all these guys.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
You know, you are taking away clients from them, and this is the way to go because it's on repeat. You could, you don't have to exactly tune in to hear it.
Ian, it's funny when we started this 3 years ago, or I started 3 years ago. Jay's been here a couple of years. When I would contact someone about an interview, most of the time you'd get, "What's a podcast?" And now if I contact you guys, it's like, you can book guys to be guests on podcasts now. Real names with best-selling books. And we've had actors come in. It's rather amazing how quickly it's turned. And I worked in radio for many years, and you're seeing those places gut their staffs. They're gutting them.
Oh, yeah. The bottom line is the bottom line. How do you make bread out of this? How do you turn it into a livelihood?
Mm-hmm.
Is there money in this?
Yeah, there can be.
And there can be. Yeah, for sure. Anthony's proving that. We're proving that as much as we can. You know, I mean, it's a work in progress always, but yeah.
Are you guys surviving off this full time?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
We've got some advertising, not so much that it weighs down the show. And we've got some other sources of stuff that works for us. And this is what we do.
And are you pulling in comparable figures compared to what you used to on?
No.
You know, I worked on a big time show in Detroit. It was the #1 morning show in Detroit for many, many years.
I know that.
And Jay was a lawyer at a firm. He was a partner at a law firm. So yeah, we did well for ourselves at the time. So, but we're making our way and we're pulling it off. So, you know,
and it works for the reasons you described. I mean, people want to hear real talk, unfiltered bullshit that's not going through management first. So
yeah, or worried about offending somebody with the
you're
language.
Probably sleeping much better at night, correct?
Yeah, we're trying
for the most part.
Yeah, that was a topic earlier. It's still stressful, man. It's stressful because we're not run a business kind of guys. So it's that part of it is the only thing that I took for granted for sure in the media world, where it's like, yeah, someone else just dealt with a website, someone else just dealt with advertising. Where, you know, we have to be more on the forefront of that, but, you know, it's worth it. And it's fun to.
And what's your staff like? Like, how many people are actually working with you? It's not just the two of you.
There's 4 of us, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
Lean and mean, man.
And do you have other content, I presume? Other shows? How does it work?
No, you know what? We don't right now, but I know a lot of guys are doing that. I think Anthony's done that. He's got kind of an umbrella. We've been approached about joining some of those. I haven't liked the details of some of those. I'd love to talk to Anthony about something like that. You know, getting under an umbrella of a broadcast. You know, I mean, you're essentially building a broadcast house, which is very intriguing to me.
But right now
that's exciting.
We're the Detroit Cast, and we're at episode 580. So we've been plugging along with this for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, if it wasn't working for the advertisers, we sure as shit wouldn't be here. And the fact is, the people that listen to this show have gone and bought books, and they've gone and they've bought cars from the dealership that advertises with us. They go to those places. They drive tremendous lengths to go and use those.
It's a much more engaged audience than just your typical TV or radio. People are invested in it. They're intentionally going to get this show, you know?
Yep.
Wow. Well, hey, kudos to you guys, because I'm big fans of your show. And
Thank
to
you,
both
sir.
of you, I really thank you for having me on again. I love what you guys are doing. I support it. And, I'm sick of the mainstream corporate environment. And I think this is the way to go. You're setting a template that has all these executives at these mainstream broadcasting outlets shaking in their boots because their jobs right now are on the line.
Ian Halperin, thank you so much, man. We really enjoy always every time we talk
guys,
to you.
You're the best. You know what? I'm gonna come to Detroit hopefully in the next year, and I'm gonna come sit in with you guys.
We'd love
for
it, man.
A day or two. I love what you guys are doing, and congratulations. I remain a huge fan. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. The Kardashian Dynasty, The Controversial Rise of America's Royal Family by Ian Halperin. Good luck with it, Ian, and we'll talk to you again soon, pal.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.
Now we know Kim's the best. She has Kanye West and a girl Northwest. Gonna need a rest. We just found out that your sex tape's out. We don't care at all. Sisters.
Music group out of LA put together this, like, if the Kardashians was a show in the 90s.
Oh yeah. So it has that Alan Thicke kind of theme song.
It's like Full House or something.
Yeah.
Let's be sisters. It's kind of funny. Anyways, let's take a quick timeout, and we'll come back. It's one of the things that we touched on in talking to Ian was the whole transgender Bruce, blah blah blah. Yeah, Caitlyn. Excuse me, Caitlyn Jenner
come on,
thing.
Mike.
And there's a story that's she, right? He, she, it, whatever. But there's a story that's really going around, making the rounds today about some comments that a doctor made about whether it's a mental health issue.
Oh, really?
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
So we'll discuss that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
I-75 and exit 98 is the only place you can lease the... Hey, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. We're closer than you think, and we have deals that do not stink. Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 is the only place you can lease the all-new 2016 Ford F-150 Super Crew four-wheel drive for $188 a month. That's correct. Zott Ford has F-150 Super Cruise for just $188 per month. Check out our obnoxious deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com. That's SZOTT.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay.
Hey, son, you're a disappointment to your parents.
Wait, who was that directed at?
I don't know.
I mean, it almost fits for virtually the whole room.
Probably.
You know, at this point.
In their lives, yeah.
You could make the...
You gotta say for sure 2 of 3.
I'd go 3 of 3.
Would you?
Well,
yeah.
But you still have
That's sad.
the reality is you could walk away today and it could just be memory.
Just a blip on the radar. Remember those couple of years where you?
I certainly can't. Mike closer than I can, I suppose. But you
No,
need to
I'm
make
a
money. You need to
disappointment,
work.
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Mike's
not
been
good
a
enough.
disappointment to his parents for a long
That's a
time.
good point.
Yeah, that's true. That's
More
the
so
good
his
thing.
dad than his mom, but
That's the good thing about being a lifelong disappointment to loved
It is
ones.
solid.
they expect no better.
Exactly. Like you, Jay, that's a real issue because you were never a disappointment to people.
And now I am.
And now, you know,
I am.
I mean,
Definitely gotta
seeing
be
you as a
worse.
failure of this level
Yeah.
is it's I feel for you. I feel for you.
Right, because I mean, you get to the point where it's lifelong, like you describe. Like you get I'll get a few speeches here and there, but not even close to, like, it just gets down to just whatever.
Well, I don't know. You left your job?
My car sucks. It's like, whatever.
Hey, are you planning on moving to Canada if the presidential candidate you voted for doesn't win? Get
Hell
your
yeah.
passport ready and let Krista Jelski sell your home. Krista will get you out of here before Inauguration Day. That would be February, correct?
Wait, what? Say that again.
Inauguration Day, is that in February?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Well, I mean, she's got a long time before February. Get you out of your home before Memorial Day, I bet, if you really wanted to.
Absolutely.
I would hope so.
Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime, virtually anytime at 586-918-0900. She will answer anytime.
Anytime. She's been very clear about that. A couple people have tested her on it. When we were talking to Ian Halperin, we were obviously talking about Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, I am Kate, all that kind of stuff. And yesterday I got bombarded with we get tagged in a lot of stories, and I got tagged in a bunch of them. And I always try to vet these stories because you never know where there's so many satirical websites out there.
Seriously.
And bullshit stories.
Or what I find is a lot of people tag us in stuff that's like a couple years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not funny or whatever, or possibly not relevant, but
I noticed that too. A lot of people send us stories that we talked about a week ago, which whatever, that doesn't bother me as much. But some of those, where it's like, oh yeah, this is from 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was one of those, but there was this one about this prominent Johns Hopkins psychiatrist who wrote a paper on transgenderism, and it's called a pathogenic meme. And so I looked at that, and it's sort of on the fence there. He is who he is. He's been there forever, 40 years or something, and did in fact write this paper, which is being thrown around the web yesterday, especially as like breaking news. This is a bombshell for the transgender community. He wrote this in 2015. So basically, as soon as Bruce did the interview with Diane Sawyer is when this article was actually written. It was June 10th of 2015.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, agreed. So
did you get this off the internet?
I did. Yeah.
That's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
Okay. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. So I imagine this is going to have people all pissed off and in an uproar because it basically is saying, yeah, it's kind of a mental health issue. And so no offense, take it for what it's worth.
This is a doctor, professor at Johns Hopkins.
Paul McHugh. He's an MD, University Distinguished Services Professor of Psychiatry at Johns Hopkins Medical School.
He might know what he's talking about.
And the former psychiatrist in chief at Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Okay. He might know a little something.
Well, I mean, I was never the chief of a department at Johns Hopkins.
I'm just saying he might be a better source for information on this than, say, like Lena Dunham or something.
Oh, wow. Interesting take. Yeah, perhaps. You think? Perhaps. For 40 years as the university's distinguished service professor of psychiatry at Johns Hopkins, I've been studying people who claim to be transgender over that time. I've watched the phenomenon change and expand in remarkable ways.
That's really astounding.
A rare issue of a few men, both homosexual and heterosexual, has spread to include women as well as men. Even young boys and girls have begun to present themselves as the opposite sex.
There are people who don't want to do other things. If you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
Well put, Jerry. Publicly, especially from early examples as the Christine Jorgensens and Jan Morrises and Renee Richards. I'm assuming these are, I don't remember all of their stories, but they're people.
You'd know them by Bob, Tom, and Pete.
Sure. Right. has prompted the idea that one's biological sex is a choice, leading to widespread cultural acceptance of the concept. And that idea has since run through the American public like a revelation or a meme, quote, meme, affecting much of our thought about sex. The champions of this meme claim that whether you are a man or a woman, or a boy or a girl, is more of a disposition or feeling about yourself than, in fact, a fact of nature. And much like any other feeling, it can change at any time. At Johns Hopkins, after pioneering sex change surgery, we demonstrated that the practice brought no important benefits. As a result, we stopped offering the form of treatment in the 70s. I have not met or examined Bruce Jenner, but his behavior resembles that of some of the transgender males we have studied over the years. These men wanted to display themselves in sexy ways. This leapt off the screen at me with Bruce Jenner, that I thought women were going to find the behavior of him rather offensive. And you see this a lot. He says he's displaying himself in sexy ways, wearing provocative female garb, more often than not, claiming to be a woman in a man's body. The photograph of the posed, corseted, breast-boosted Bruce Jenner, a man in his mid-60s, flaunting himself as a pinup girl in her 20s on the cover of Vanity Fair, suggests that he may fit the behavioral mold that Ray Blanchard has dubbed an expression of gynephilia, which is gynephilia attracted to women, and auto in the form of oneself.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say,
First, let us address the basic assumption of the contemporary parade, the idea that exchange of one's sex is possible. It's starkly, nakedly false. Transgendered men do not become women, nor do transgendered women become men, all, including Bruce Jenner, become feminized men or masculinized women, counterfeits or impersonators of the sex which they identify with. In that lies their problematic future. When the tumult and shouting dies, it proves not easy nor wise to live in a counterfeit sexual garb. The most thorough follow-up of sex reassigned people, extending over 30 years and conducted in Sweden, where the culture is strongly supportive of the transgendered, documents their lifelong mental unrest. That quote right there is going to have people outraged.
Lifelong mental unrest.
10 to 15 years after surgical reassignment, the suicide rate of those who had undergone the sex reassignment surgery rose to 20 times that of comparable peers. The central issue with all transgender subjects is one of assumption, the assumption that one's sexual nature is misaligned with one's biological sex. Based on the photographic evidence, one might guess Bruce Jenner falls into the group of men who come to their disordered assumption through being sexually aroused by the image of themselves as women. He could have been treated for this misaligned arousal with psychotherapy and medication. Instead, he found his way to surgeons who worked him over as he wished. Others have already commented on his stereotypic caricature of women as decorative babes. I look forward to wearing nail polish until it chips off, he told Diane Sawyer. I remember that. A view that understandably infuriates feminists. Among most young boys and girls who come seeking sex reassignment are utterly different from Jenner. They have no erotic interest driving their quest. Rather, they come with psychosocial issues, conflicts over the prospects, expectations, and roles that they sense are attached to their given sex, and presume that sex reassignment will ease or resolve them. The grim fact is that most of these youngsters do not find therapists willing to assess and guide them in ways that permit them to work out their conflicts and correct their assumptions. Rather, they and their families find only gender counselors who encourage them in their sexual misassumptions. That's scary, man. There are several reasons for this absence of coherence in our mental health system. Important among them is the fact that both the state and federal governments are actively seeking to block any treatments that can be construed as challenging the assumptions and choices of transgendered youngsters. In 2 states, a doctor who would look into the psychological history of a transgendered boy or girl in search of a resolvable conflict could lose his or her license to practice medicine. By contrast, such a physician would not be penalized if he or she started such a patient on hormones that would block puberty and might stunt growth.
He needs to be better trained.
As far as Bruce goes, plenty of evidence demonstrates that with him and most others, transgender is a psychological rather than biological matter. In fact, gender dysphoria, the official psychiatric term for feeling oneself to be of the opposite sex, belongs in the family of similarly disordered assumptions about the body, such as anorexia and body dysmorphic disorder.
Interesting.
Its treatment should not be directed at the body, as with surgery and hormones, any more than one treats obesity fearing anorexic parents with liposuction.
Wow.
The treatment should strive to correct the false problematic nature of the assumption and to resolve the psychosocial conflicts provoking it. With youngsters, this is best done in family therapy. The larger issue is the meme itself. The idea that one's sex is fluid and a matter open to choice runs unquestioned through our culture and is reflected everywhere in the media, the theater, the classroom, and many medical clinics. It has taken on cult-like features, its own special lingo, internet chat rooms, providing slick answers to new recruits, and clubs for easy access to dresses and styles supporting the sex change. It is doing much damage to families. Adolescents and children should be confronted as an opinion without biological foundation wherever it emerges. But grind your loins if you would confront this matter. Hell hath no fury, like a vested interest masquerading as a moral principle.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And could you read his credentials one more time?
Well, he's Bob. He works down at your local grocery store.
Yeah.
And oh no, I'm sorry. I was reading the wrong story's credentials. Paul McHugh, MD. Is University Distinguished Service Professor of Psychiatry at Johns Hopkins Medical School and the former Psychiatrist in Chief at Johns Hopkins Hospital. So he's also written books.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be picked apart as some kind of right-wing conservative, and as this thing gets more popular.
Yeah. Well, that's telling too. And I suppose there's a couple ways you could look at it when you talk about 10 to 15 years down the road, and guys like this have been studying this.
For decades,
for 40 years, and seeing this and going, yeah, when you get okay, let's do the gender reassignment surgery because you're a lady, and they do that, and then it doesn't fix the mental health issue. And 10 to 15 years down the road of white knuckling your way through life, they end up killing themselves at a rate 20 times the normal average.
Yeah.
Now
I'm sure the argument would be, well, I'm just not accepted for who I am, and
well, he did point out
so much discrimination, harassment
in Sweden, where a lot of this study goes on. He said it's very accepted there. It's just not that out of place. So, if that's to be believed, interesting article that you're going to see popping up in your Facebook trending stories through. At least it was yesterday.
Would it pop up in the trending stories?
I don't know if Facebook would let that.
Facebook probably wouldn't let that one go through, but.
They're getting hammered for that, by the way. They're getting to look into.
Yeah.
It's the Hooli algorithm being messed with.
We're all familiar.
It's crazy, man. Crazy story. Remember we were talking about the chief White House correspondent for the.
How could I forget, Mike? That led to the
News.
eggplant incident that has scarred me.
Was that a week ago today?
Maybe.
Because we were getting ready for eggplant. Eggplant Fridays.
A week ago today.
God, this week went quick.
Yeah.
Seems like just a moment ago that I was laying on that floor.
They need to pull the image back up just to remind anybody, or are we
no?
good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to, you can. I mean, we're a day early as far as when we're recording this show.
Another zitty ass that we could look at. Damn it!
It's funny to listen back to, though. That was quite a reaction in the room.
Maybe one of the biggest.
The woman who claims she had a 10-month affair with Ed Henry is the correspondent. Stripper. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wasn't she? She was just a hostess.
Just a Las Vegas hostess.
I figured she'd be like a CEO or maybe a manager at a high firm or something.
Professor. Something.
Right.
Natalia Lima performed $2,000 an hour routines for Henry in a private VIP skybox at Sapphire.
$2,000.
Dude, what? Dude, am I the only one who doesn't get this? Like, even when you talk to high level, like some people are like, even if you're a millionaire,
why you
these
pay
rappers,
$2,000 when you can get a pregnant one for $300?
Well, no. But $2,000 for a lap dance? I mean, I just don't.
Think he's paying $2,000 for an hour of sex. It's just
okay. Well, but there are. You see the rappers that go in the. They go in the clubs and they blow $50,000, $100,000 in a night, and it literally is just making it rain,
looking like a big shot.
I don't get it.
The pair hit it off.
Oh, they hit it off, did they?
Absolutely. They hit it off.
Here's $2,000 for you. I think we're going to hit it off.
We're going to be fast friends.
You believe in love at first sight?
They engaged in a secret love affair at the luxury hotels whenever he visited Vegas there. Lima revealed her tryst with Henry in that In Touch magazine tell-all, which is bullshit. I'm sorry. I do not like the idea of strippers
No.
and hookers.
Bullshit.
You're
doing
getting paid,
tell-alls.
man.
You're getting paid
Yeah.
for services.
That's the
now,
reason-
leave it at that. We
Right.
don't need to blow people's shit up. I'm sorry.
Especially these high-end
God
ones.
damn it.
What was their reasoning in doing that? Was there a conflict that we knew of at the time, or
I don't know, man.
just being a bitch?
Yeah, it sounds like
But
it.
especially these high-end ones.
I
That's
think-
the thing.
I think maybe there's some would say that she wasn't aware that he was married or something.
So
I
Can't
know.
believe you're married, and
Yeah,
I
I
thought we
can't-
had something.
As
You
if
handed
going
me
into
that
the
$2,000. I thought this was real.
Yeah. In fact, she is they said, but she was described in reports as a glamorous Vegas hostess, and she's actually just a longtime stripper, and Henry was one of her clients. Lima has since gone to great lengths to conceal her true profession, and a close friend said she's a celebrity stylist and a good Christian girl, denying any knowledge of a connection to the Sapphire Club. But numerous sources of the club claim otherwise, revealing that she has worked there for several years. One stripper, Aaliyah Sin, so there's around 400 girls working at Sapphire at any given time. She has a locker in the same quad as me, so I see her regularly to say hi. She's a regular girl and has been there much longer than me. She's been there more than 5 years. A photo of her in a bikini alongside a couple other chicks was taken at the Sapphire Pool and Day Club, which is a sister venue, and where strippers get wet and wild with customers.
Well, that's all right.
Sapphire, I must
Confess.
in full for full disclosure, the 70,000 square foot Sapphire Club, and when they talk about the skybox,
You're familiar?
I'm rather familiar. One night,
Familiar with the curtain there, are you?
ooh, it's crazy, dude. It's like you think of a strip club where you've got the stage. And it's like, yeah, coming to the stage, Cherry, and and then she's up there, kind of
Cherry
spinning around a
Sin.
spinning around a pole, and guys are like sitting at the rail, maybe throwing a buck here, a buck there, and ordering drinks. Sapphire is like that. It's humongous, and it's got multiple stages. But then you can go up a level, and there's skyboxes, like you would see it at a Pistons game or a Tigers game.
Wow.
You've got these suites, right? And in each one of these suites is like a couch and a little table, and there's a big screen TV, and you can either watch like the ball game, or you can switch to closed circuit and watch like different strippers downstairs riding around the pole.
Wow.
And so Riley and I were there one night. Matt Riley and I, like, we were playing at the tables in Vegas, and it was, I don't know, midnight, and everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to bed, and this and that. And Riley's like, fuck you, you're not going anywhere. We're going to Sapphire. And Riley's just a maniac. And so he orders a car. And so I'm like, all right, dude, we'll go to Sapphire. It was new at the time. And so this car comes and picks us up, takes us there, and we go, and Riley's just like, fuck it, we're getting a skybox. We're a skybox. We have bottles of champagne. I think we had Cristal. He's ordering strawberry. We have bowls of strawberries and whipped cream delivered to us. And then we had our own private dancers. We each had our own girls. And so for the next 6 hours, we sat in this fucking skybox just getting hammered. I want to say, dude, 10 grand was dropped in that.
Wow.
And we just blew it out till, the sun was up when we walked out of that place the next morning and got back into the limo to go back to the hotel. It was outrageous. I probably am forgetting details. There was no sex though. Neither of us like banged a chick or anything, but they were just, they were your best friend.
Right, I bet they were.
And
especially if you're up there.
And they're constantly ordering, oh my God, we're out of champagne, and it's like, well, get some more then. And they're glad to do that. They'll order up hundreds of dollars of this shit.
Right.
But you could definitely get out of control and have fun in a place like Sapphire. The girls, I guess, too, they say can, like, a lot of the girls, it's like classless. Like if you're high end enough, it's like, ugh, I don't want to be on the pole. That's gross. I don't want creeps throwing dollars at me. So they can pay their managers like $150 and just like, keep me off the pole. I'll just go into the VIP room where the real shooters are. And so they'll
be
just
good looking enough.
Suck dick all night.
Yeah, but they said they can make like, up to $4 grand a night. Huh? Dude, that's killer money.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't mind walking in and having to blow him.
Yeah. She does not look like she's worth $4 grand. And I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry.
the hip to waist.
It's
is
crazy how a
very
lot of
troubling.
these people make that money, and then somehow they still end up having money issues. I don't know why they're not sound investors. Are they not just putting that money to make that money work for them? Or
It's odd.
I'm honestly,
because I feel like
We should call Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial.
if at any point, like you for just for the 1 year straight, you gave me $4,000 a night. I'm not suggesting that I'll suddenly become a billionaire, but I think I could. I think I
Can
could
make that work. Get by on that.
I could think I could end up working out a situation where I didn't have to. I'd be okay for a while.
what if it was a new club, Manfire, opening up in Vegas, and they were offering you, dude, there's just something about you. I mean, like
If they could
$3,500 a night,
If they could guarantee it, I would do it for at least a year.
and you would go just like grind on dudes.
Sure, whatever. Dude.
All right. Just curious.
Hand jobs.
Not hand jobs. No, I'd be.
Why
I'm
not?
doing
What do you
no.
mean? Now he's going back on that.
No,
You
I'm
said
not.
$60 for a hand job.
Okay, that
before.
was more.
Joel
of a,
wanted a $60 hand job. He's
that
wanted
was
one for
more
months.
just. Dude, you know what? I'm not in the desperate need of that. That was more. I was just saying. Never mind. That was just a philosophy idea I had. But I'm not doing anything under the table. But if you could get
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say, mm-mm.
But if you
On
could
the spot,
guarantee
on the
me
spot.
$3,500 a night, above board, dancing and
It's always
grinding,
the
I
same
guess.
and
but
always different. There's always a bunch of naked guys having a wonderful time together.
I'd do it.
Well,
What is $3,500 a
The
night?
problem is, nobody's paying
I know they're
$3,500
not.
just to dance. You're gonna have to suck dick or
I'm-
do
okay,
hand
well, then I
jobs or
won't do
even
it
open
then.
up a noose.
Then I won't do it. My point was, if you could guarantee it at that.
yeah,
then I
but you
would.
got to work your ass off. These girls don't just get $4,000.
Okay, $1,000
they're-
a night. I'll do it 1,000 for a night, but I won't do anything else. I'll just do grinding and dancing.
Yeah, but my experience is those bummers that think they're hot shit. Like the girls that will get in there and fucking grind and
Picture
will
you
rub.
just humping a leg, some old dude's leg, in a G-string,
letting them spank him.
Yeah, the greasy plume flopping up and down as he goes up and down.
For that
the
kind
leg.
of money, though, I
up and down the leg.
360,000 in a year. I'll work every day that year.
yeah,
And then I'll
7
just
day a
quit.
week guy.
Yeah, then I'll just quit.
I like it. E.
Do it
I
for
like
1
it.
year and I'll quit.
Get yourself a website.
Well,
That's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
Before we get to some email,
we do have some email, Mike.
do we? Hey, this is crazy, man. We haven't been on Periscope in a while.
We have not, and I saw this story. This is troubling.
My problem with Periscope, besides how many guys are on there just like rubbing their dick in the camera live,
That's one problem.
is it disappears so fast. Like that's the big thing where it's like, it's not worth it. Like I wish we had the videos that we had of us shooting hoops at the Palace, but we don't. Those disappeared after.
Forget that video. How about E laying here wasted out of his gourd with the gummy bear?
That's right. That's right.
That
We
would have
had-
been a good one to have.
What was that? 45 minutes. We were live periscoping.
Yeah.
E wasted.
Oh my god, that was
puking in
one
the
of worst nights
toilet
of my life.
God, I wish we had those, but we don't. They disappear
But
after
that's the
24
nature
hours.
of Periscope, and that's what it does, and that's what I guess a lot of people like about it.
I
It
guess,
just
and
doesn't
if
serve our purpose as well.
yeah, no, it doesn't. I know. I save it. I know people are going to write and go, "There's a way to save those," but for the masses, I don't know. Whatever. This French teenager though live streamed her own suicide.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a rape periscoped, and now we have a suicide periscope. It's only a matter of time.
She did it. Whenever I'm on Periscope, I'm like, no, I'm not saying a word until we get enough people in here. And that could be any, usually you try to get over 100 people. I think if you're going big, if you're going suicide Periscope, she got 1,000 people in the room. Is that enough?
No.
What she threw out there, like, I'm about to kill myself.
I think she did. Yeah. She claims she was a rape victim. A 19-year-old woman took her own life at a train station in Aigle, which is a fringe suburb of Paris. While filming herself on the platform, she reportedly named the man she claimed to have that raped her before jumping in front of a train. That is brutal. She used Periscope to publish several posts warning of an upcoming live stream of importance. What's about to happen will be very shocking, but I'm not doing it for the hype. Well, absolutely doing it for the hype. No offense. I mean, this is a tragic story, but right, this is kind of the definition of doing it for the hype. I'm doing it to send a message. French media reported that some of the Periscope viewers had recognized the girl and the train station, but by the time they alerted the authorities, it was too late. That is nasty, man. That is crazy. That is you got to feel bad for the train conductor too. Who's got to live with that happens so often. It happened with my buddy. My buddy did that. Truck driver, jumped in front of a truck driver, and
now it's on his life.
Oh my God. And yeah, that's devastating for that guy.
Right.
Devastating. And I know that for a fact that it's been devastating for that dude. And it's tough because somebody that's in that state, you hate to, they're sick. They're mentally not operating fully in that moment. A girl like that, or Bobby, my buddy. So it's hard to rag on them, but I don't think they're thinking things, obviously not thinking things all the way through. I hope for his sake that guy actually did rape her.
Oh God, I know.
Because
be named like that.
Yeah, to be outed publicly. That would be tough. That would be a tough one, especially if you're like, dude,
wait, what? I don't even know her.
Me? What? That could be good news though for him. He's like, well, the only other witness ain't much of a witness now. Now it's an absolute he said, she said moment.
He said.
Yeah. Well, she said on Periscope.
Yeah, but she can't say anything else now.
Yeah.
She can't add any details.
There's no cross. You can't do proper cross.
It's going to be a he said.
Are you going to put her Periscope video
and
up?
then he stopped saying, and that's it.
You can't cross a corpse, can you?
No.
It's very difficult, right?
Difficult.
People have tried. Usually that requires going to tape recordings.
Yeah.
But the cross is the difficult part for you lawyers. If you guys can figure out how to cross the deceased, this would open up a whole new world of litigation. But until then,
yeah, it would. Boy.
Real he said story. So
they're just gonna put her Periscope video or 5 seconds of Periscope up there, her telling his name. Oh, there she is.
Hearsay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your attorney.
Yeah. As I think you've all seen on YouTube, I basically suck at my job. However, my friends at Zot Ford, for some mysterious reason, continue to keep me employed there. So please do us both a favor and head down to I-75 exit 98 to take advantage of this stupidly great lease right now. And only if you tell them Biggie sent you until the end of May, you can lease a brand new 16 Edge for just $272 with zero cash due. Yep, a new Edge for just $272 with zero cash due. Cash due every time. Check out the retarded deals and massive inventory at Zot4.com.
Retarded deals.
It sounds like fucking Jew to me when I say it. Cash Jew. No,
Cash Jew.
I'm talking too fast is probably what's happening.
Yeah.
Got to mention our Amazon link on DetroitCast.com. You'll find a link to Amazon. Please use it.
Amazon.
Awesome way to donate to the show.
Amazon.
Links on the website.
It's on the website, DetroitCast.com. Just simply shop through it. We get a bit of a kickback, and you'll find everything you need.
There has never been a company quite like Amazon. There is very little Amazon doesn't have.
Amazon. That's 60 Minutes, right?
Yes.
It is. That's the only place I could find them.
You see Morley Safer's retiring?
No.
Yeah. Calling it quits. I believe 84.
Dude,
he's gonna
do your thing. I don't understand why these people go on so long.
I don't either.
Is he finally gonna be able? Now he's gonna be able to, relax, hit the links.
He's great though. I like Morley Safer. I think Morley's good. He's definitely not the Morley Safer of 20 years ago, but I don't know. There's something soothing about his voice.
Very familiar.
Very.
Look at this image.
Yeah, he looks kind of satanic, doesn't he?
That doesn't even look like a human almost.
Yeah.
Creepy.
I don't get. I get loving doing something, but you're right. Like, dude, I mean, okay, 70.
Must
Could
so
you stop at
define
70?
them, right?
Just the fear of not being relevant or not.
I just don't understand the not want to, like, that's work. It's work to put together a piece, like a 20-minute, 15-minute piece for 60 minutes is work.
Mm-hmm.
You're interviewing people, you're researching, you're doing tons of research, writing and research. Like, I just don't understand, because the money you make being on 60 Minutes, these guys are loaded. Make no mistake, they're loaded. Why
Especially
you wouldn't just go sit on a fucking beach for the rest of the time? Like, that's the part I don't
shit
get.
Wife or something that you don't want to be around.
Whatever,
Some
ditch her,
kids.
give her half, whatever. You still got millions. Go live on a beach. What are you doing?
You have at best 6 more years, right? At
Yeah.
best.
Dude, why 60 to me? Like, maybe if you didn't need to, if I didn't need to work, like, just say this took off and I started making, just say, and this is the only thing I did the rest of my life. Dude, there's no chance. I love showing up here every day, but there's no chance I'm here past 60.
No.
Like, no, you just say I'm just assuming I'm alive, assuming we made money. I'm not, I want to go enjoy life at that point. Why? I don't get it.
Yeah, there's plenty of other things I'd rather be doing than working. Is your point, right? These guys seem not to have it. I don't know.
The Dick Clark that pretty much died on camera.
Right. After the stroke and everything still going on there. Come on, Dick.
Yeah. Drooling on camera, being the absolute butt of jokes for years. Last few years of your life, being just ridiculed.
And then another upping in a box and then getting shipped around the country.
No, that was Casey Kasem.
Oh, shit. Wow. Well, he sent.
You're thinking of a different icon.
Yeah,
broadcasting.
Who's done it right? Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson kind of bowed out. Dave Letterman
he just left.
Yeah, Dave Letterman's probably a great example of that.
He's gone.
I'm growing a beard, and you might catch me jogging in my neighborhood. That's about it.
Yeah, they show that picture of him, and he looks crazy. He looks so old now. But he doesn't. He's gone. You don't hear him talking still anymore. It doesn't he didn't retire. And it's literally
feel the need to get back on.
6 months later, all of a sudden he's back on, like Leno and shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oprah?
It's still 2 years out from him? Or?
Who, Letterman?
He'll be done, I bet.
Letterman showed up at something the other day, some charity thing with Jon Stewart. Might have been for troops or shit. I don't want to screw that up, but he did something where he showed up but other than that, I haven't seen him at all outside of a tabloid picture here or there, but that's about it. He's not doing interviews. And that's how Johnny was.
Mm-hmm.
Carson was just gone.
He was done.
He was done, and that was it. He didn't give a shit at all. I think he went to an island somewhere, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Hey, we mentioned the Amazon link a moment ago, which is a great way to donate. Also, you can just hit our donate button